I'm Grace Torrey, and you're listening to That Girl the Podcast. Grab a beverage of choice and settle in, because the new episode is starting now. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl, Grace Torrey, and I'm back with a whole new podcast episode. In today's podcast episode, we are going to be talking about all of my thoughts on the Eras Tour movie. I went and saw it on Friday, and I have quite a few thoughts on it, just everything from what it actually was, and like the contents of it, the people at the movie theater, the vibes on the internet, like everything going on with it. I'm going to be talking about that and what my thoughts on it are. So yeah, if that's interesting to you, definitely stick around. Before we jump into it, we do have to do a quick life update. So let's get into it. The first thing I want to talk about is, this is one of my pod thoughts that I wrote down. I only wrote down one, but I don't understand why majority of the fall drinks at Starbucks are cold. Why are they cold? It's fall. It is getting cold outside. I want a warm bev to brighten my day. I just want to be warm and comfy, and it is warm bev season. And why are majority of the drinks cold? I think 2 out of 3 are cold drinks, and that really hurts my feelings. I want something other than a PSL to warm my heart and soul in the fall, and I can't have that, and it's really hurting my feelings. So I just had to share that. We went to the horse track today, watched a couple races. That was always fun, always a good time. I didn't get to see Moondance today because I have some other things to catch up on, which I guess I'll get into now. I was supposed to do them yesterday, but I actually found out on Friday right before my mom and boyfriend and I went to go see Taylor Swift that my childhood dog is not doing well. He's 17 years old, so it's kind of like, okay, we knew this was coming. He's had heart failure for like 2 years, or it's slowly been getting worse. So he's had some scares, and they basically told us to give him through the weekend, and if he doesn't improve, that Monday we're gonna have to make a decision, and he has not improved. I saw him yesterday, which was Saturday, and spent some time with him because he was with my mom now, and he's just not, he's like, I can tell that he's ready. Like, he's always been very, very young-hearted. He may be old, but he acts like a puppy. And the last time I saw him, which was yesterday, he was not like that anymore. I think that he's just kind of over it and ready to go. So we're probably going to have to do that tomorrow. Because of that, I don't know if there's going to be an episode on Wednesday. I'm not going to say there's not one, but I'm not going to say there is one either. It's literally just going to depend on how I'm feeling. So I just want to let you guys know that ahead of time. I'm not going to pressure myself to do it if I'm still really struggling, but I think that it could be a good break from reality. So I just want to be candid with you all, and if you don't see one, that would be why. So just a little update, but yeah, if you want to say a prayer for us, I'd really appreciate it. It's one of those things that you can't control, and obviously it's inevitable, and we knew it was coming, but it still sucks, and it's gonna really suck tomorrow. I think I'm gonna be able to hopefully take off work and go with my mom to the vet, unless a miracle happens tonight. But either way, he's very old and just kind of over it, and I get it. Our other dog passed away last year really, really unexpectedly, and she and him grew up together. She was also old, so I think he's just ready to be with her. So it's okay. It's okay. It's just one of those things that's sad. But enough about that. Enough about, sad things. Let's go ahead and jump on in. Before I do, don't forget to follow on whatever platform you're currently on. Don't forget to hit a like, or leave a rating or review. And if you have any besties who you think would enjoy this episode, don't forget to share this with them. So today we're going to be talking about the Eras Tour movie. It was so good. It was very, very good. I have seen all of her, like the Reputation one, which was a concert. I swear she had another one, but maybe I'm just crazy. I watched Miss Americana, obviously. This is very different than Miss Americana, but I am no stranger to Taylor Swift movies, And I think this knocked the Reputation one out of the park. Like, I mean, this took the Reputation one and made it look basic. Like, this one was so good. The editing was so well done. I could not stop analyzing it and looking at every little thing. And I was lucky enough to go to the Eras tour, so I got to experience it firsthand. So I was looking at all the things that were different from like the movie perspective. One of the things I really, really enjoyed was being able to watch it up close and see the actual details, like her jewelry, her microphone, her shoes, obviously her outfits, but we do have quite a few up close pictures of those, the dancers. There were so many things to look out throughout that entire show, like props and even the floor having certain things and the bracelets and the backgrounds, and everything is just so detailed and contributes to the show. And I was just sitting there thinking, like, dang, she could have not done all this and I still would have had a wonderful time. But from a movie standpoint, like, it was very well done the way that they showcased not just it being a concert, but the ingenuity that it took to put on such a massive production. I will say I have a beef with Taylor. Taylor, I am disappointed. You took out the Archer. The Archer was not in the movie. There were quite a few songs they cut out. They cut out "'Tis the Damn Season." They cut out "Wildest Dreams." I think they cut out a couple more. But the Archer is one of my favorite songs ever that Taylor has ever put out. I really relate to it, and when she played it at the concert, it meant a lot to me personally. And I think all of my Archer girlies definitely can agree with me that this song means a lot, and she took it out of the movie. And yes, the movie was 2 hours and 45 minutes, but ma'am, could we not make it 2 hours and 48 minutes? I know everyone is gonna have a different gripe. I'm sure the Wildest Dreams girlies are disappointed too. Obviously, I'm being a little bit dramatic. I am not, like, this does not make or break the experience, but it did disappoint me a little bit, you know? Obviously, she can't please us all, so it's fine. But I did feel like in the movie theater, I was at the concert, which I was really curious to see how that would play out, because when you go to like a concert, it's obviously very, very different than watching the movie. And I think what did help is that I went to one of the movie theaters that are newer, so it was kind of like, it like had sound systems that went completely around the room and kind of went to different areas, and it felt like you were in the movie. Like, it was very, very immersive. So I think that definitely helped make me feel like I was in the concert. But also, everyone was dancing and singing and jumping up and down and getting their flashlights out, and that was so fun. I hope that everyone who didn't go to opening weekend still gets to experience that, because that was one thing I was worried about, and one of the reasons I really wanted to go opening weekend, because I didn't want to miss out on like all of the Swifties. One thing I was really disappointed about is no one made bracelets. I saw one girl passing out bracelets after, I guess because she made them and no one else did. But I'm not gonna lie, that was part of the problem. I did not make bracelets simply because I knew no one was gonna make bracelets. Because there were not that many girls at my show that made bracelets. I went to the Cincinnati show and I was in the club suites, and there were like, I would say maybe 30% of us make bracelets, which is a good amount. But when you're trading, it's more fun to get something back. Like, I was giving them out for sure. I'm not the girl who's gonna be like, no, if you don't trade with me, you can't have it. But I was a bit disappointed that no one really did it. And then for the movie, that's why I was like, no, I know no one's gonna make them. So I didn't, and I was right. No one made bracelets. A couple people dressed up and everybody else wore their Eras Tour merch. But I was disappointed that we didn't make bracelets. That was one of the things Taylor specifically told us to do. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're just disobeying. I'm kidding. But yeah, I wish that people would have been more, in that sense, a little bit more festive. One other thing I was disappointed in, and I kind of had a feeling this was going to happen because my movie theater is attached to, or the movie theater we went to is attached to like a bowling alley and arcade. It's not just a movie theater. It also has like a bar. Like, it's a huge thing downtown. So I could have easily gone to a different movie theater, but we just went to this one because they had the times and they weren't sold out. but I kind of had a sneaking suspicion they weren't going to have a lot of the merch, like the popcorn buckets and stuff, and the only thing they had was the cups. So I did get one cup, but I was a little disappointed. They didn't have the posters, no tins, only one drink option, no tote bags. So that was disappointing, but I could have just gone to a different theater. I have a feeling that one on the other side of town has all of that, so maybe I'll just go over there. I don't know. Um, It'll give me an excuse to go see it again. But that was my initial thoughts. From an editing standpoint, very well done. I liked how they separated every single era. My mom and I both were really, really excited about and this is like a little dorky thing, but the snake for Reputation, how it went all over the stage, and the editing for that, like it was just super, super cool. Like I mentioned, love being able to see it up close because I was like 200 level towards the back, so I didn't get to see it that up close, and like even on the screens, they're just not HD, so you don't get to see that level. It was just really good to hear it and see it again. And it's funny because when I watched Reputation tour, I kind of don't want to watch it again because I'm like, that memory was so special for me. I don't want to like watch it again and replace that memory in a sense. But for this one, I'm like, I could watch that 100 times. Genuinely, it made me feel like I was there in a way that I was like, let's do it again. Like, that was so fun. But also, I do want to say, holy crap, I was out of like I was exhausted from watching it. I don't know how Taylor performs it, or even the dancers perform it. How do they have that much stamina, that much energy, that much muscle, that much skill? Taylor was literally skipping and singing at the same time. I said, ma'am, I can't even skip without being out of breath. I was even watching her strut that she does when she like struts across the stage. It's like her default walk, I guess. And I was like, ma'am, I don't think I could strut like that without being out of breath. That takes a lot of effort. And you are singing, and I know she's a trained vocalist, but even then, to do that for 3.5 hours, and she doesn't even look like she's like sweaty. Like obviously she is. On that note, I saw a very funny topic on or not topic, saw a very funny comment on Facebook the other day. This older man commented on like a article about Taylor, as they do, and was like, wow, all that money and she can't get a hairstylist. And it was like her during her midnight set, so her hair has been through the heat for 3.5 hours and her performing, so it's like her natural hair and a little bit frizzier. You guys know what I'm talking about. Like, just look her up during her midnight set, and it's not like it's not perfect. It's not curled. It's not straight. It's not perfect hair. She's been through it at this point. And if you go to like the Lover set where she starts out, it's like pinned straight, like perfectly done. And this man had the audacity to be like, all this money and she can't get a good hairstylist. And I'm like thinking to myself, sir, you perform that much and show me what your hair looks like. What? I don't know. I obviously don't comment back or pay any attention to those kinds of people because no, but it gave me a chuckle. It gave me a little bit of a laugh. So that happened. It was really funny. Anyway, back to the set. I just really enjoy being able to appreciate the intricacies of every little aspect of that show. I also liked seeing a different show than mine because Cincinnati, it was in the Bengals Stadium, so it's an open stadium. It was one of the hottest days of the year. One of my favorite memories that I will cherish forever is watching the All Too Well 10-minute version when the sun was going down and the sunset was at the strongest because we were right in the middle of the stadium, so we weren't in the bottom, we weren't in the top, so we could see the sunset, but we still weren't super far from Taylor. So I got a video of it, I got some pictures of it, and it was one of the most beautiful, content, grateful moments I've ever had. I just felt so blessed in that moment. I felt so just happy and grateful. I don't even know what else to say. And so that was so beautiful for me. I can't imagine watching it in a stadium that's dark. Not that that would take away from the performance at all. If anything, I think it would enhance some moments, like the Lover set where she comes out with all the clouds. That's totally different than when it's 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. and she's coming out and it's broad daylight. And neither one of them is bad. I don't think either one of them is tainted by it being light out, but they are totally different. Like, it looked totally different in the film than it did in real life. I also noticed that during Enchanted she had dancers, which I don't think she had dancers during the concert. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it was also great to see that dress up close. She had like the 3-tier purple Speak Now dress on, and I love that dress. I have a certain fascination with that dress. I think it's so pretty. I would never wear it because I don't have anywhere to wear it to. That's the only reason I don't. But I love it. I just love seeing all of her ball gowns and her dressed up and her doing all these elegant upscale things because I can never do that. So I live vicariously through her. I guess I could do that one day, but I'm not at a place in my life where I'm doing that currently. So I loved seeing that dress. Enchanted is Josh's favorite song of hers. So him being able to see it live through the movie, it was really cool. Hearing the live version. I am disappointed because Long Live is one of my favorite songs and she played it in Kansas City. I don't know if she's still playing it or if that was just a Kansas City thing, but I was really hoping it would be in the movie and she's still playing it, and it wasn't. It was in the out credits, so that was cool, but I was a little upset about that. Again, minor details. I'm not like actually complaining. It was a beautiful movie, incredibly done, but RIP to me. So that was great. I like how I think they cut down the applause and Champagne Problems like after, and that kind of cracked me up a little bit. Just, I don't know why it did, but it did. I get it. We don't really need to see like 5 minutes of people clapping, but it did crack me up a little bit. I just really liked how they showed her personality so much. Like, her personality shone through so much. And one thing about the Eras Tour, she is very silly on the Eras Tour. Like, I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she's been as silly on previous tours. So the way that she's just 100% like truly acts like we are hanging out with her for the night and we're chilling, and like, yes, she still does an incredible job. Yes, she still does the choreography and the songs, and she's extremely professional, but at the same time she's lighthearted and jokes around with her dancers, and it's very chill. So I really appreciated how she didn't take her personality out from the movie and kept all those silly moments. And even at the end in the credits, they had bloopers where like silly things would happen on stage that were like she messed up or something. And not that that's a bad thing. I really appreciate moments like that. Like, it shows that she's human. Like, you guys know, if you're a Swiftie, you guys know the Swift AF boy meme. That was my concert. And I didn't even notice that happened because I told myself I did everything I could not to watch any videos of previous concerts or like look at the set list. And I did see her outfits, like I did see things like that. So I had an expectation going into it, but I didn't know what song she was going to play, and I didn't have her like routine memorized by any means because I wanted a surprise and to see it all for the first time in person. So I didn't know that her trap door didn't work. So I saw it on TikTok after where she commented that. But that was my show, and that's just a good example of like where something happened and she was professional about it, but it was also like, you know, just like a human thing. Like, it's not her fault the door didn't open, but it's still like, oh, human, like, I don't know, like, machine malfunction, what are we gonna do, whatever. Or like when her garter got stuck on her t-shirt and she had to have her backup vocalist or dancer take it off so that she could take her t-shirt off. Those are like very human moments where like a mistake happens, whether it's like regardless of whose fault it is or if it could be prevented or not. And just seeing how she responds to those is super, I don't know, it makes it more human to me. I enjoy it more. So overall, I really, really liked the film, and the only reason I wouldn't see it like 100 times is because it's so long, and I feel like, or I felt like I had left a concert when I left. Like, I was so tired, and while I loved every single second of it, I was like, wow, I need a nap, I need food. I went through a lot. I will say watching it in air conditioning versus watching it in the heat was very different. I would obviously choose to be in person with her every single time, but you know, it was a good substitute. One thing I will say is I was so happy for all of the fan accounts who got to go see it in person with her at the premiere. I saw that. I follow quite a few people who got to go see it and met her, and that is so special, so sweet, and I'm so happy for everyone who got to go. So if you did get to go, I'm so happy for you, genuinely. I'm glad you got to meet her, have your moment, and I know as someone who had a fan account for One Direction that that meant the absolute world to you, and I just want to say I'm so happy for you, like so genuinely over the moon. It was so fun getting to see all of your pictures and all of your interactions with her, and one of the girls I follow even got to watch it in the same theater as her. So I'm just so happy for you guys. That's really it. But I think that's it. I know this is a bit of a shorter episode, but given I'm kind of not in the best mood, it's been a really hard weekend for me. And this is not like I don't really have like 30 to 45 minutes worth of things to say. I feel like I probably could get into the nitty gritty, but a lot of it I covered in like the Eras Tour concert recap because it's more things like the set list and her costumes and things like that. So it would just be a repeat of that. So if you want to go watch that, I did a Eras Tour concert recap. Oh, sorry, shook the camera. After I went to her concert, I also did a two-part series on what's wrong with Ticketmaster and how to get tickets to see her. So definitely go check that out as well if she is coming, because I know she's coming to Indianapolis next year, which is close to me. So hopefully she's coming somewhere close-ish to you again. And if you didn't get to go, I'm manifesting that you are able to go see her live. So let me know what you thought of the movie down below. I want to hear everyone's comments. I really haven't seen that many people's thoughts on it. I did see it has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes as well as Cinema Score. So interesting, really cool, really fun, really fresh. But other than that, yeah, I want to hear your thoughts. So don't forget to follow, like, comment, rate, review, all of the fun things. All of my links are down below for Instagram and TikTok on my podcast as well as my personal. I love you guys so, so much. I will see you in my next podcast episode. If you're watching this on a Sunday, have a great Sunday night. If you're watching this any other day, have a great morning, afternoon, or night. And I will see you guys soon. Bye, guys. Love you.